I'm Kevin America. Welcome to our class. Today we're going to learn 3 verb tenses. Okay? And in fact, these are the last 3 verb tenses that we will learn. These verb tenses are perfect continuous. If you'll remember, the perfect verb tenses, past perfect, present perfect, and future perfect, we must have eaten, have gone, have been, right? And if you'll remember our continuous verb tenses, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, we have to have the verb to be plus ing. Remember, to be is she is, I am, you are. So, the verb to be plus ing is a continuous. She is running. They were driving. I was swimming. Right? The verb to be plus ing. So how are we going to put this all together? This is a perfect continuous. Have the verb to be plus ing. So let's do it. We're going to start with a present perfect continuous. And let's write the present perfect continuous in purple because it's fun. Present perfect continuous. So a present perfect continuous goes like this. Let's use our timeline. Okay, this is now. That's us. Hi. This is the past, and this goes into the future. So let's talk about when our present perfect continuous happens. Present perfect continuous, in fact, all perfect continuous tenses, tell us about a duration. Remember, we talked about duration. How long something took. How long was it? How much time did it take? Well, let's look at it this way. It started in the past, and it continued until now, and it still continues, right? It continued until now, and it still continues. So we're talking about a duration from the past until now. Okay, so let's look at these examples. Let me put a little green dot here so we know where one begins and one ends, okay? So, she has been working for 8 years. So we're talking about how long she has been working. She has been working for 8 years. I have been eating for 10 minutes now, right? We have been trying to learn for a long time. So maybe we don't have to be specific, but we can say it's been a long time, right? So we're talking about a duration from the past until now. Now here's the interesting part. Okay? You don't have to use. You don't need to use the time. So if you don't use the time, we're using the same timeline here, right? The past until now and still true. But if I don't say for a long time, for 8 years, it just means lately or recently. So let's look at these examples. She has been feeling sad. So we're actually still using the same timeline from the past until now, and it's taken some duration. But generally, she has been feeling sad. What we mean is lately. So we can even use that in the sentence. Lately, she has been feeling sad. Or, she has been feeling sad lately. Cool, right? We don't have to put lately, right? If we don't, then we don't have any duration and we don't say lately. We just say it means that. How about the next one? They have been exercising. Wow, they look great. Well, they should look great. They've been exercising. Hear that contraction? They've been. They have been exercising. What I mean is they have been exercising recently. Recently or lately. So very often when you see this use with no duration, even though it is a duration, but we don't write for a long time, 4 or 5 minutes, for 8 years. We don't write that. It means lately or recently. She has been feeling sad. They have been exercising, you see? All right. Now let's talk about, instead of the present perfect continuous, let's go to the past perfect continuous. So the past perfect continuous is going to be basically the same thing. Except instead of a duration from the past until now, it's going to be a duration from the past until another time in the past. Okay, let's use an event here. Here's our timeline. Past into the future, right? So let's start with a time in the past, okay? So let's start right now and think about a time in the past, something in the past, some event. And then let's think about the duration of something until that time, right? All right. So let's do a few examples. So here's a good example. All right. We've got something that continued from the past until another event in the past. And this event is she arrived, whoever she is. But they had been talking for hours. The duration, we're talking about how long. They had been talking for hours before she arrived. Ah, you see? Had been talking. So notice has, have, but in the past it's had. She had been talking for hours before they arrived. Now let's think of use number 2. It's a slightly different idea. It kind of means the same thing. But here we're going to talk about cause and effect. Why did this happen? Well, because of this. Let's look at some examples. So here we are. He was tired. So we're talking about some time in the past. Or we're actually, it doesn't matter. He was tired sometime in the past because he had been exercising. He had been exercising. That doesn't mean he exercised once. All right, I'm done. No, it means it was over some time. And we're not saying how much time. We could say he was tired because he had been exercising for 3 minutes. He was tired because he had been exercising for 3 minutes. So what we're really doing here is we're looking at because. There was a cause. There's a reason he was tired. And that reason had a duration. There was something that happened for some time. And that is the past perfect continuous. So now let's talk about the future perfect continuous. I'll give you a hint. If you understand the present perfect continuous, bump, bump, and you understand the past perfect continuous, bump, bump, and I think you'll understand the future perfect continuous pretty well. Let's look. So the future perfect continuous, once again, is going to start with a timeline. And some of you may be able to draw this timeline already. Let's think. It goes until now in the present, until something in the past, some event in the past. So now it's going to go until what? Here's now. Right now. Hi. The past into the future. So we're going to go into the future and make a future event. Something will happen in the past, even if it's just a time. But there's a future event. And we're going to talk about what, remember, perfect continuous, has been verbing, had been verbing, so will have been verbing. Aha! Will have been verbing. So let's look at some examples. The car will have been running for 2 hours. That's the red. Will have been running for 2 hours when we arrive. When we arrive. All right. So you look at the blue X, and that's when we arrive. And the car will have been running for 2 hours when we arrive. I could even say by the time we arrive. Now remember, this is a time clause. Many of you spotted that already. This is a time clause. So we can't say when we will arrive, when we are going to arrive. No. No future in time clauses. So we can say, we will arrive. Good. That's great. We will arrive. I'm glad. But the car will have been running for 2 hours when we arrive. Because I use when, I can never say when we will arrive. No way. When we arrive. Okay. So let's look at use number 2 for this future perfect continuous. Now, use number 2 for this future perfect continuous is the same thing as use number 2 for the past perfect continuous. Cause, effect. So let's remember, because. So let's make an example so that we can understand it, all right? Okay, so let's check it out. He is going to be tired, right? This blue X is him going to be tired. He is going to be tired because, which I misspelled. What I mean is P-E-C-A-U-S-E. He is going to be tired because he will have been running. Now, I don't even have to put a duration. Because I say will have been running or is going to have been running, then you know it took some time. Just because I used a future perfect continuous. Any perfect continuous means it took some time. You know what? He's going to be very tired because he will have been running. Well, I'm going to pick up Jason later today. Really? What time are you picking him up? 5 o'clock. Oh, you know what? Jason runs from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock every day. So when you pick him up, he is going to be tired because he will have been running. You see? And there we have it. We've got our perfect continuouses, right? We've got a present perfect continuous. She has been working for 8 years. She has been feeling sad lately. She's been exercising lately. We have been trying to learn for a long time. And we've got our past perfect continuous, which is something that happened before a past event. They had been talking for hours before she arrived. Or he was tired because he had been exercising. Here we have a cause and event. Future does the same thing. The car will have been running for 2 hours when they arrive. Or he is going to be tired because he will have been running. Or you could even say he will be tired because he is going to have been running. Or how about this? He is going to be tired because he is going to have been running. That's one verb. Let's check that out. He is going to have been running. Okay, let's look at that. Just for a moment, let's realize this is one verb, right? Is going to have been running. That's 6 words to make one verb. He runs. He ran. He is going to have been running. That's one verb. Crazy, right? And there we have it, the perfect continuous tenses. I'm Kevin America, and thank you for having a great class with me.